Schmooze or lose. Get your geek on. Schmooze or lose. Get your geek on. Comic, sci-fi, fantasy. So much more, just come and see on Schmooze or lose.
Okay, Schmooze or Lose fans, this is Brian, and I'm here at the Northeast Comic Con, and I'm here with a very special guest. This is Kathy Garver, and just for me personally, I grew up watching Family Affair. I remember Cissy. I grew up watching Amazing Spider-Man every Saturday morning, and she was the voice of, I almost said Firestar, and you were also the voice of another character, correct? Storm? Is that correct?
I was Storm, and I was Hawk Girl, and in The Amazing Spider-Man, because Firestar was from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. When they did The Amazing Spider-Man, I played Miss America and the Gila monster. Be very careful.
You know, it just amazed me that I never put two and two together until recently, because I grew up watching, you know, Family Affair, and then one of my favorite shows again, like Amazing Spider-Man cartoon, that you've done both. And I found out today that she actually played in one of my favorite movies of all time. There's a print here of her with Charlton Heston in the movie The Ten Commandments. This movie I think is probably one of the best movies ever made, and you were in it. That's just amazing to me, and it's just amazing that I'm sitting here next to you. And I just want to ask you a few questions that probably Schmooze or Lose fans would want to ask you. I think maybe you started out with Family Affair. Was that your first?
No, the actual one was The Ten Commandments,
so
and also The Night of the Hunter with, it was Charles Lawton's first directorial
Night of the Hunter.
job.
I remember that.
It was Robert Mitchum and Shelley
Yep.
Winters and Lillian Gish. And at the time, it didn't get such great reviews because it was so far ahead of its time. And now it's like number 30 on the best horror films of all time.
Oh, wow.
It was a very scary movie. So that was my first. And then I went from the horror to The Ten Commandments,
Wow.
which was very
And you probably
blessed.
got to meet Cecil B. DeMille.
Well, yes, actually, Cecil B. DeMille was the one that kind of discovered me, as I was just supposed to be an extra in this movie. And I remember the first day, and we're on the set. We were shooting Egypt in Hollywood on Paramount. And I'm supposed to be in this wagon, and all of a sudden I hear this big voice cry out, "Don't let that little girl's face get in the camera." And I said, "Is he talking to me? Is that God?"
Oh, wow.
I said, I didn't know what to think. And so it was that he had me do the scene with like a little blanket over my head. And afterwards, I chatted with him, and he wrote extra scenes into the movie himself for me with Charlton Heston.
That is amazing.
So, and this just happened 3 weeks ago. It is the anniversary of the Ten Commandments, and this is the U.S. Postal Service commemorative stamp with Charlton Heston.
And you have
me.
this for sale.
I do,
Wow.
actually, yes.
Oh.
Holly Heston signed it, Charlton Heston's daughter,
You're
and the artist Nicolosi, who is quite good.
I may have to buy this one.
Well, it's only because it's a father, a new father, and it's Father's Day. Maybe your wife will let you
Yeah,
have it.
maybe so. I mean, you know, I will tell you, this is just amazing for me. This is one of my favorite movies, and, you know, you being a part of that, it seems like my whole childhood, it seems like you've been a part of that in some certain way as an actress. What was it like doing the voice for, did you know a lot about Spider-Man going into this, or
No.
what happened here? How did you?
Well, I didn't know that much about Spider-Man per se. I had been doing a lot of voiceovers and from Hanna-Barbera and a lot of guest spots. And I did Dixie and Dixie's Diner. And so then I interviewed for this role of Firestar in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I didn't even know who Stan Lee was.
Wow.
But this was Stan Lee, who is a great guru for Marvel.
He still is. I mean,
he still
he
is.
is the
He's
most
still around.
famous person involved in comic books.
Yes, and he's wonderful.
I've met him before. He's a nice guy.
Very nice guy, incredibly talented. And Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends was the first thing that he had done that was an original animated story from his studio, because before they would take the comic book and he would take the characters from the comic book and then create a show for them. Here he created a show and then did the comic books like Firestar
So
And
her start was actually on the show,
that's right.
and then she went to comics. Wow, that's one of
That's
the first
correct.
times that's happened, I think.
I am just a font of trivia.
Wow, this is amazing. This is probably one of the best interviews I've done. I've learned so much. This is just
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. And just to be funny about this, I think this come out in the early 80s.
Right?
To this day, dun 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 dun, I can hum the whole song in my head.
Firestar.
Yes.
Go for it.
Well, thank you so much. And I think we need to talk about your books. You have Surviving Cissy, and you have Ex-Child Stars, and these are available, correct? Can
Right.
you tell me about your books? And
Sure. The first one that I wrote was the Family Affair Cookbook, and that not only is a cookbook, but says how Family Affair, my television series, started and what happened to people. My second book was Surviving Cissy, my family affair of life in Hollywood. And then my third book is Ex-Child Stars, Where Are They Now?
wow, and the third book, is that the one you're working on now, coming out?
No, that's a fourth book coming
fourth
out.
book coming out. And what's that?
That one is Ex-Child Stars from the movies. The Ex-Child Stars, Where Are They Now? The one that's out, just came out, is for the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s television series. So they're the Olsen twins and Dana
Yep.
Plato and
And I've got a question. Out of all the things you've done so much in the entertainment industry. What's probably your most memorable, like that you enjoyed the most? I know it's a tough question, but I love to ask tough questions.
well, really, it was a high school performance of The Miracle Worker that I did.
Wait, they done a claymation based off of that, I think, The Miracle Worker.
Oh,
Yes.
did they?
It's like a cartoon, so I know exactly what you're talking. It's like the story of Jesus.
No.
Is that the same one?
No.
Well, this is a different one.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a real big miracle worker. But this miracle worker was the story of the blind person. Patty Duke won the Academy Award for it when she played the child in the movie The Miracle Worker. And I did the stage presentation of it.
Oh, wow.
And it was just taking on, a whole different presence of how does a blind person, use their senses. They hear things a lot louder in the background or whatever. And so that was my most fulfilling, I think.
So did you travel to do this, kind of like a Broadway play, like putting on
No,
shows? Or
it was a high school play.
It was a high school play. Wow.
And that was my favorite thing of
Isn't
all
it amazing
the
after all the
professional things.
humongously large things that you've done that, I guess it's a lesson that, sometimes, we may think something's insignificant in our lives ends up being the largest events.
You're
So I will
exactly
tell you
right.
this right now, interviewing you and talking to you is going to be a big event in my life, and my family will see this for years coming from now. So it was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you, Brian.
God bless you so much.
Thank
and
you.
We'll have all your information up where people can order your books and everything. And
Super.
you've been such a blessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Schmooze or lose. This has been Brian with Kathy Garver. And thanks for tuning in. And stay tuned for more episodes coming up.